The door had no handle, no hinges on either side, and it was warm to the touch. I bought my house 6 months ago. It's nothing special. A small 2-bedroom in the suburbs with an unfinished basement I'd been meaning to clean out. Last Tuesday, I finally decided to tackle it. Boxes everywhere, old furniture from the previous owner, the usual stuff you'd expect. But there, against the far wall where I'd stacked empty boxes just the week before, was a door. A door that wasn't there yesterday. I know how that sounds. I know what you're thinking, but I'm not crazy and I'm not making this up. I'd been in that basement dozens of times. I'd measured those walls for shelving. There was no door. It was painted the same dingy white as the basement walls, almost like it was trying to hide. No doorknob, no hinges on either side, just a flat surface with a thin seam around the edges. And when I pressed my palm against it, it was warm. Not hot, but warm, like someone had been standing on the other side with their hand pressed to the same spot. I shouldn't have left it alone. God, I should have just left it alone. But curiosity is a disease, isn't it? I pushed on the door, and it swung inward silently, revealing a set of wooden stairs descending into darkness. The air that rolled out smelled stale and old, like a room that hadn't been opened in decades. I grabbed my phone, turned on the flashlight, and started down. The stairs were steep, steeper than they should have been. I counted 32 steps before I reached the bottom, which made no sense because my basement wasn't that tall. I should have been underground, below the foundation, way below. When I swept my phone light around, my breath caught. It was another basement. Not mine, but almost mine. Same concrete floor, same support beams in the corner, but the water heater was on the right instead of the left. The stairs came down on the opposite wall, and there was the smell, copper, and something sweet, like rotting fruit. In the center of the floor was a drain. I didn't have a drain in my basement. I walked over to it, and that's when I noticed the boxes, stacked along the walls, just like mine, but the handwriting on them was different, neater. The labels said things like kitchen, fragile, and winter clothes, and photos, do not open. That last one made my skin crawl. Why would someone label photos, do not open? I was about to investigate when I heard it. A creak from above, from the floor above this basement. Slow, deliberate footsteps. Someone was up there, in the house that mirrored mine. The footsteps moved across the ceiling, following the same path I'd take from my living room to my kitchen. I held my breath. The steps stopped, right above me. And then I heard the basement door open. Not my door, the door upstairs in this mirror house. Someone was coming down. I killed my phone light and pressed myself behind the water heater. In the darkness, I could hear them descending. Slow steps, one at a time, like they were being careful not to trip. When they reached the bottom, they stopped. I could hear them breathing, wet, rattling breaths. Then, my phone rang. The ringtone shattered the silence, and I scrambled to silence it, but it was too late. The breathing stopped, and then I heard it speak. "I know you're here." It was my voice, my exact voice. I ran. I didn't think, didn't look back, just bolted for the stairs. Behind me, I heard it running too, feet slapping against concrete. I took the stairs 3 at a time, my phone light swinging wildly. I could hear it right behind me, so close I could feel breath on my neck. I burst through the doorway and slammed it shut, pressing my full weight against it. Something hit the other side hard once, twice, then stopped. Silence. I waited there for 10 minutes before I finally stepped back. The door was gone. just a blank wall, like it had never existed. I tried to convince myself it was a hallucination, stress, carbon monoxide poisoning maybe. But that night I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about that mirror basement, about the boxes labeled "Do Not Open," about something wearing my voice. At 3 a.m., I went back downstairs. The door was there again. This time, I noticed something I'd missed before. Scratched into the white paint, so faint I'd overlooked it, were words. It came up 3 days ago. My blood went cold. I pressed my ear to the door. Silence. But then, faintly, I heard it. Footsteps. Upstairs. In my house. Above the real basement. That's when I understood. I wasn't the one who found the door first. I ran upstairs, taking the steps 2 at a time, and burst into my living room. Everything looked normal. TV off, kitchen empty, but the air felt wrong. Too still. I checked every room, every closet, every space large enough to hide a person. Nothing. I was about to convince myself I was being paranoid when I saw it. In the kitchen, on the counter next to the coffee maker, was a mug. My favorite mug, the chipped one I'd used that morning. But I'd put it in the dishwasher. I specifically remember putting it in the dishwasher. It was still warm. Someone had just used it. I grabbed a knife from the block and checked the house again. Still nothing. But as I passed by the hallway mirror, I stopped. Something was off. I stared at my reflection, and it stared back. Same messy hair, same bloodshot eyes, same white knuckles gripping the knife. But in the reflection, behind me, the basement door was open. In reality, when I spun around, it was closed. I approached the mirror slowly. In the reflection, the basement door remained open, and I could see darkness beyond it. Stairs, leading down. And at the bottom of those stairs, standing in the shadows, was me. The other me. It was looking up at the mirror, looking at me. It smiled. I smashed the mirror. 7 years of bad luck seemed like a fair trade for not having to see that thing anymore. But here's what I can't stop thinking about. When I broke the glass, I saw something in the shards. Just for a second. Every piece of broken mirror showed the same thing. Me. Dozens of me's. All of them standing in different rooms of my house. All of them looking at me. All of them smiling. I haven't slept in 3 days. I keep finding things moved. The mug appears on the counter every morning, still warm. I hear footsteps when I'm alone. And sometimes, late at night, I hear the basement door open, even though there is no basement door. Yesterday, I found another message. This one was written in the steam on my bathroom mirror after I showered. I've been up here for 3 days. I'm leaving. Tonight. I'm packing everything I can carry, and I'm getting out. But here's the thing that's keeping me frozen in place. Unable to move, unable to leave. If it came up 3 days ago, which one of us am I? If you enjoyed this nightmare, hit that subscribe button, because some doors once opened can never be closed, and some reflections are more real than you are.